Hi guys, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. If you are new, my name is Eva, and if you're a returning customer, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. Welcome back. For those of you who are new on my channel, basically I try to help people avoid scams. I like to call out MLMs and manipulative behaviors, stuff like that. So if this is the kind of content you're interested in, please click that like and subscribe button. It would really help me out a lot. Also, feel free to check me out on social media. All the links are going to be down below. My username is evaamateja. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into another few MLM horror stories. And this is our 7th episode. There are so many stories like this out there. Some of them are extremely sad and triggering, but anyway, it's a good thing to share them. If you have any of your stories, my email address is going to be down below in the description box. Feel free to share your story, your experiences. I'm going to keep you anonymous. All right. Oh my God, much better. The first story is about Amway, so let's get into it. Cultish practices encouraged to marry quickly, what I witnessed from Amway. I know a couple of late 20s and early 30s women who recently got into Amway and the mentorship program Worldwide Dream Builders, and they went full force into it. Our friendship started going downhill immediately because I called it a side gig and kept questioning and countering their spiel, which one was quoting but obviously not truly understood herself. Vague AF. It was concerning, but I figured it would frizzle out naturally and we could resume our friendship once the veil was lifted. Well, veil. Oh my God, I don't know how to pronounce words. They're more competitive than I realized because they're in the cult up to their eyeballs and digging deeper. I'm not certain, but I think both have been pushed into marriage. One met a guy at a conference and weeks later they were getting married and had already been in couples marriage counseling and ready to tie the knot, so any questioning was dismissed or just not asked by their family, her family. Months later, we found out that they both sold their TVs. No explanation, and I mentioned to their mom, who found this so endearing and proud of their dedication, that it was a waste of money already spent. They didn't have to watch TV if they didn't want to, and they could keep the flat screens in a closet as they're not bulky anyway. The mom stays silent. Recently, we learned they watch TV with a projector, so what was the point? Wait, what? They sold their TVs only to watch TV with the projector. On weekend, they got rid of all their alcohol. And they're not alcoholics, but they're very social, and he previously worked as a bartender, so it was something they both enjoyed. I myself keep a full bar at home, but I rarely drink. In any case, I got a lot of booze, yay me. Well, yeah, okay, I don't keep any alcohol in my house. We don't drink, so I don't think that's the worst thing ever. I, for one, don't agree that alcohol is necessary for social events. Like, you don't need alcohol to have fun. Recently, the other chick who had a meltdown when she turned 30 because she hadn't been able to retire yet, as promised, oh my God, found a guy and will be getting married soon, and of course, it will be a dry wedding. Oh, so they are not allowed to drink alcohol at all. I would have alcohol in my wedding. And also the fact that she cried when she was 30 because she couldn't retire, it just shows you how brainwashed she is, and it's kind of sad. Throughout the whole pandemic, they've traveled more than anyone else I know combined. When one got COVID, she blamed it on a coworker, not her frequent flights to Florida or Texas or the weird shopping trips by her mentor, which I thought was laying it on thick. Yeah, this is another thing. It's been going around crazy. They have conventions all the time. All the MLMs have conventions all the freaking time, and so many of them get COVID. I think about 8 people died of COVID, like 8 Huns died from getting COVID on one of these conventions. What kind of legitimate business gives you morsels of a luxe life? Feels like when you start dating a manipulative jerk who love bombs you at first to get you hooked. Anyway, their whole lives are Amway. All conversations end in Amway. stayed at my house, and she woke up earlier than me at 7 a.m. and said her mentor wakes up at 5 a.m. and makes a huge breakfast spread for their guests. I'm not a morning person, so he rubbed me the wrong way, but I just said good for him, and I wanted to say the toaster is right there. So later we discussed kitchen layouts. They're regularly encouraged to plan for their future mansions, and I said something about Pinterest, and she showed me on an Amway version of Pinterest. Oh, so they have an Amway version of Pinterest. It's really frustrating that they alienate their people. Can't even call them employees because they're not. I fully agree with that one. So intensely away from people, ideas, and even inspirational web pages. I guess I've been labeled the Amway version of a suppressive person because all of my questions or comments get me a short cult answer. It makes me sad to see them talk about nothing but Amway and their mentors and diamond this and diamond that and planning for mansions and private islands and whatnot. Oh my god, private islands. They're already cooking their books and writing every single thing off as a business expense, so the mentorship isn't very kosher to me. It's awful just sitting back and waiting for them to burn out and return to their senses, or since they're morally questionable, actually make it in Amway and become even more abrasive and straight up crooked business people. Long sigh. Yeah, that's really sad how brainwashed they both are, but also I think I learned a few new things now. I didn't know that Amway had their own version of Pinterest and the people weren't allowed to drink. 5 years ago, I had answered an ad of Indeed or Career Builder, I forget which, for a full-time receptionist position at a local insurance company. Oh, we know where this one's going. The job was described as answering the phone, transferring calls, sorting through the daily mail, ordering office supplies, making copies, filing, and similar. The job description also stressed that no prior knowledge of insurance is needed. Great, I thought, and eagerly applied. As I had been doing reception type of work since 1992, I thought I would be a good candidate for the position. I was happy when an interview was set up a few days later. I arrived at the office and was interviewed by the female owner of the company. Owner of the company. I was asked about my previous employers and job duties. I took her through each reception job, 3 in detail, trying to stress that I was well experienced with what she was looking for. I didn't expect her to be impressed by my qualification, but I also got the impression that she didn't really care. She then asked if I had ever worked in an insurance office before. I was puzzled as she already knew from my previous jobs, tourism, transportation, and manufacturing, that I had not. I also added that the main reason that I applied was that the ad stated in bold, italic print, no less, that no prior knowledge of insurance is necessary. I remember her just blankly staring at me. Red flag number 1. Although the wording in the ad should have tipped me off from the get-go. I told her I was an eager and fast learner and I wouldn't mind both coming in early and staying late to accomplish this goal. Next, she began to grill me, and I mean grill, about my interests and hobbies. I rattled off generic but still truthful interests and hobbies: reading, going to the movies, cooking, baking, crafting, and traveling. My answers seemed to irritate her and she kept asking, yeah, but what else interests you? My god, lady, we both know that I'm the definition of boring, but what the hell do you want from me? Going out to eat with my husband, watching my children at their sporting events, playing with my dog, walking my dog, again, all truths, but I was grasping at straws. She still seemed annoyed by my answers, and the interview mercifully ended after that. Mercifully. I have never had an interview before or since where my prior work experience was more or less weighed away, while my outside hobbies and interests were the main focus. And yeah, no normal interview is gonna have that for a focus. Was this how they screened out potential weirdos? Yes, I'm obsessed with true crimes, the Manson families, and collecting knives. I have a bone to pick with this statement, lady. People who are obsessed with true crimes are actually not weirdos. Well, I mean, most of them. I wouldn't say that I'm obsessed with true crime, but I do like to watch true crime. I mean, have you ever seen Bailey Sarian? Whatever she was talking about, I would watch her. Just saying, but anyway. Driving home, I had an odd feeling. Maybe I should have lied and told her I had exciting, high-risk hobbies like bungee jumping, cliff diving, skydiving, whatever. Maybe she wanted to sell me life insurance policy. She wanted to sell something, alright. A few days later, I received an email from her. The first sentence was short and to the point. I didn't get the job as she decided to go with someone else who had experience working in an insurance office. Okay, anyway. Fine, but why bother to add that no prior knowledge bullshit in the ad? Then the lengthy paragraph began. All was not lost. She had a side job selling luxury men's suit. It was rewarding and fulfilling, and she thought that I'd be just perfect for it. I was immediately pissed. I quickly googled Jay Hilburn, and to my annoyance, all the reviews were positive. Not an MLM, not a scam, legitimate business opportunity, real money, low startup costs. That sounds like a bunch of Huns leaving the fake reviews. I was still seething and fired off an email, thanking her for her time and wishing her continued success with her insurance company. She emailed back with, "When are you free to come in so we can discuss this opportunity in depth? I'd love to meet with you for coffee." No, I responded with a polite thanks, but no thanks. I'm not interested in selling men's suits, no matter how luxurious they might be. She emailed yet again, this time urging me to share this opportunity with my family and friends. Give them my contact information. Yeah, I'll get right on to that. So this makes me think that she's not actually a business owner. She's just a recruiter, and there is no reception job. That was probably just a fake ad posted so that she can meet a lot of people, get their details, and then spam them to join the MLM to recruit them. Though a few friends and family members have disagreed with me over the years, I'm still convinced that I answered a scam ad. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There was never a receptionist job available. This was recruitment for an MLM. I'm also convinced that all the fake curiosity about my hobbies and interests was to see if I answered with, "I love clothes and fashion." Had I given this answer, I'm also convinced that I would have been given a sales pitch then and there. I went on another receptionist job interview a few weeks later and was offered a job that day. So yeah, this is exactly what I said. I really don't think there was an actual receptionist job, and that lady's definitely not a business owner. Next, we have two stories that a very dear friend of mine sent me, and thank you so much, girl, for sending them on. These are her two experiences with MLMs. So first of all, I was not really popular at school, so not many people talked to me. I graduated barely knowing my schoolmates, so I was not sad, only happy to leave that place. And I can so relate to this. I didn't know anyone in my class. Like, no one would ever speak to me. I wasn't a cool kid either. I only had like a few friends, but only one of them was like an actual friend, and we're friends to this day. I went to the US to become an au pair and ended up leaving my home country for good. After 2 years of school being over, I received a message request from one of the popular girls I had literally never talked to before. She started small talk and being overly friendly, and right away I knew something was up. So I cut her shit without playing along at all and asked why she's contacting me. She started talking about her company and how she'd love to tell me more about her products. I declined after reading the first sentence. She didn't quite give up there yet though, as I received a couple more voice notes of about 10 minutes of talking time about her product, which I had obviously no interest in. I kept telling her to stop contacting me and didn't even listen to those voicemails. Yeah, don't waste your time on those. I received those before, I never listened to them either. I told her to leave me alone or I will end up blocking her. After a couple more sad tries of her, plus reacting to my online content telling me I should just think about it, at last I removed her. 2 weeks later, she contacted me over another social media platform asking if I had thought about it. Oh my god, she literally blocks you and you contact her from another platform. Did you think about it? Obviously, if she removed you, she's not interested. I couldn't believe the fact that she kept searching for my social media and kept contacting me and trying to sell me her shit and recruit me. I was so upset that I told my best friends, 11 years this year, aw, that's nice, about our old schoolmate and ranting on about how she dares to even talk to me after bullying me at school. I laughed tears, hearing from my BFF that apparently she went through our old contact list from school and contacting literally everyone she knows trying to scam them. Yeah, so that's exactly what they do. I kind of feel sorry for her now, as she must be deeply in shit to having to do all that. But that she doesn't realize her wrongdoing or just doesn't care about others somehow takes away my pity for her. And yeah, I wouldn't really feel pity, especially if she bullied you in school. I wouldn't really pity her. It's a couple of years now, and after being reminded today, I wonder how she's doing. If she's still in that MLM, if she's stealing people's money and souls, or if she finally woke up. Souls. Okay, so second story. This was before the first one, actually. I had no idea about pyramid scheme and was in general very naive. It was less than a year after high school graduation. I had been to the States already and was still in touch with a couple of friends at the time. One of them seemed pretty smart and successful regarding some aspects of life, so when he contacted me regarding an amazing opportunity to be earning more money during my au pair year, I listened. I was not greedy. As an au pair, you can earn less than $200 a week. That's very little. He congratulated me on migrating for 1 to 2 years and said that there's great and easy business opportunity that he'd love me to help him become international as I am in another country. Oh my god, what a pitch. I was a bit suspicious as I doubted anything successful related was going to be easy, but I trusted him, so I kept listening. That's a good one, actually. Everything that's successful is not easy. He started telling me about investing money into this thing that a friend of his is doing, and that he already made so much money from it, and that he isn't worried about finding other job than this soon as it pays fantastically. He sent me secret videos of his friend, which I needed a password for and was not allowed to share with anyone. These videos were uploaded regularly, and you know it already, presentations, which were hours long. Hours, Eva. He asked me to watch them so that I'd understand better, but I told him that I'm constantly watching kids, and when I have free time, I don't want to have to listen to a stranger talk for hours and hours. I asked him if he could explain it to me instead, but he said I had to watch it if I wanted to join. I assume he didn't understand it either. Oh my god, hours of presentation. He begged me, and I said I'll look into it. A man in front of a staircase introduced me to this great business plan, and I did not believe a word. My gut told me to get the heck away from it, so I cancelled on my friend. He kept trying to convince me for a couple of weeks, and as I, for some reason, wanted to hold on to that friendship, I didn't block him or anything. When he finally understood that there was no convincing and recruiting me, he got very obviously frustrated, and I asked if that's gonna stand between us. He said no, but a couple days later, I found that he removed me from all his social media, and I haven't heard a word since. Too bad. Yeah, that's really sad. I kind of wish he'd know though that I see that even after almost 4 years of that accident, he's still watching my stories on Instagram. Yeah, so I kind of had a chat with my friend about this, and I really am not sure if he's still watching her stories. It means he probably cares about her in a way, maybe in a friendly way, maybe in a romantic way. We don't know, but obviously he still has interest in her since he's watching her stories 4 years later. Now, he might just be like lurking to try and contact her again eventually if he's still in the MLM. But maybe 4 years later he's out of the MLM. Maybe he's just too ashamed for trying to scam her, but he's still curious, like if she's okay, what she's doing. So maybe he's gonna contact her. I don't know. If he contacts you, let me know, okay? Keep us updated. Anyway, guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I hope you learned something new. I surely did, about Amway especially. And yeah, if you did enjoy them, please leave me a like and subscribe to my channel for more anti-MLM content. If you are one of my Instagram friends, as always, thank you for your continuous support, and thank you to everyone who shared these stories, especially you, my friend. And yeah, if you're not coming from my social media, feel free to check me out. All the links are gonna be down below. My username is evaamateja, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.